After really tearing through some solid contenders to reach their UFC title fights, both Francis Ngannou and Volkan Ozdemir were denied of UFC gold on Saturday at UFC 220. They fell short against champions Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier in the main and co-main event respectively, and it just showed that these two guys, despite what they had done leading into the title fights, were not quite ready to dethrone these champions on this night. Of course, in the main event, Ngannou takes his first UFC loss. He was heavily hyped going into this event, but after a first round in which he got plenty of opportunities to try to knock Miocic out, the fight really turned against him. Miocic took him down, wore him out, got him tired, and Ngannou just had a lot of the holes in his game exploited in this fight. Obviously disappointed for him, but he said afterwards that this loss taught him more about the sport, about himself, than 4 years of winning in the sport and making a huge run to the top and fighting for the belt. So for Ngannou, as long as he continues to keep doing what he's doing, develop, he's a rather young guy, he is going to be back and he is going to be a threat in this weight class for a very long time. For him, it's just all about finding another big fight, a notable fight that can help bring out his skills and his development. And for me, there's only one fight you can make for Francis Ngannou after UFC 220, and it is that matchup with Derek Lewis. Yes, I know Derek Lewis is currently booked to fight Marcin Tybura next month in Austin, but I think whether he wins that fight in 1 second, wins a dominant decision, or loses in 10 seconds, I don't care. He needs to be fighting Francis Ngannou next. These two have been going back and forth for a while. They've been circling the wagons for a potential matchup for quite a while now. It seems like almost a few years at this point, and we saw Derek Lewis take another shot at Ngannou after his title fight loss.
Seems like someone else been bullshitting. Yes, my brother. That is a treadmill behind me.
So I think you have to do that fight regardless of what happens with Derek Lewis's matchup against Marcin Tybura. And then of course, Volkan Ozdemir in the co-main event, he was just not ready for Daniel Cormier's pace, his wrestling, his grind, everything that we've seen Daniel Cormier do to so many fighters in the past. Ozdemir, he had a few moments, landed some good shots early in the fight, but ultimately Cormier's game was just too much for him to overcome, and Ozdemir suffers his first UFC loss. He came on the scene and just tore through everyone, really got in this title fight very, very quickly upon joining the UFC roster, but for him, it's just go back to the drawing board. He is a young guy. He will likely have another chance to fight for the belt as long as he can keep himself relevant, keep winning fights, because as we know, Cormier is an older fighter. We don't know what's going to happen with John Jones, so Volkan Ozdemir's time possibly could come, but there was just no time for it this time around. There's lots of interesting matchups for him. Ozdemir is a fresh face still in this weight class. I personally would like to see him fight Glover Teixeira. That would be a real good test to see, what he's all about, what his well-rounded game. We know Glover Teixeira can kind of fight in a similar way slightly to Daniel Cormier by taking people down, outworking them on the ground. He definitely goes for a lot more submissions than Cormier does, but nevertheless, I think that'd be an interesting matchup between Ozdemir and Teixeira. Obviously a huge fight for that 205-pound division. Whoever comes out on top of that one would be very relevant, very much part of the title mix, looking for a shot at Daniel Cormier.